Welcome back to Rare Coins All World, coin collectors and enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in American history, the 1990 Washington quarter dollar. You might think that quarters are just your average pocket change, but let me tell you, this coin is far from ordinary. If you've ever wondered whether your change could be hiding a hidden treasure, this video will show you how the 1990 Washington quarter might be worth far more than its face value. Stick around until the end because we'll reveal just how much this coin could be worth in today's market. Now, let's start with a bit of background on the Washington quarter dollar. This iconic coin was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Since then, it has become a staple of American currency, featuring Washington's portrait on the obverse and a depiction of an eagle on the reverse. Throughout the years, the design has undergone some changes, but the 1990 version follows the classic look that most collectors are familiar with. Even though quarters are a common form of currency, the 1990 Washington quarter stands out as an interesting coin for both collectors and investors. At first glance, the 1990 Washington quarter might seem like just another coin you'd find in your pocket or the change jar. But don't let its ordinary appearance fool you. What makes this coin so special isn't its design, but rather the variations and minting errors that make certain 1990 quarters highly valuable. As with many coins, the key to its worth lies in details that most people wouldn't even notice at first. This is where the world of coin collecting gets truly exciting. One of the most significant factors that contribute to a coin's value is its mint mark. If you've ever looked at a quarter closely, you'll notice a small letter near the bottom of the reverse side. The mint mark tells you where the coin was struck. For the 1990 Washington quarter, there are three possible mint marks: D for Denver, P for Philadelphia, and S for San Francisco. Of these, the San Francisco mint mark, S, is often more desirable to collectors, especially if the coin is in exceptional condition or has a rare error. However, the Denver D mint mark is more common, which doesn't necessarily diminish the value of the 1990 quarters, but it's important to keep in mind if you happen to be searching for rare variants. So what makes a 1990 Washington quarter stand out and command such a high price? Well, there are a couple of reasons why some of these coins are highly sought after. First, as with all collectibles, condition is everything. A 1990 Washington quarter that has been well preserved, free from scratches, discoloration, and heavy circulation marks, can significantly increase its value. Uncirculated coins or those in near-perfect condition are far rarer than those that have been through years of handling, which makes the ones that are in mint condition much more valuable. However, what truly sets the 1990 Washington quarter apart from the rest is the possibility of minting errors. Mint errors occur when something goes wrong during the production process, and these errors are highly prized by collectors because they create unique, one-of-a-kind coins. For the 1990 Washington quarter, there are a few specific errors that could make this coin worth much more than its face value. One of the most notable errors is the double die error, which happens when a coin is struck twice by the same die. This causes the design on the coin to appear doubled or blurry. You can often spot this type of error by looking closely at the lettering or the image on the obverse side of the coin, such as Liberty or In God We Trust, where you might notice a slight doubling effect. These errors are rare, which is why they are so valuable to collectors. Another minting error that can make a 1990 Washington quarter worth a lot more money is an off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is misaligned during the minting process, resulting in a coin that has a distorted or off-center design. Off-center strikes are highly collectible and can be worth significantly more than standard quarters. Let's not forget the rarity factor. Although millions of 1990 Washington quarters were minted, not all of them are valuable. The ones that are in excellent condition, or that have minting errors, are far rarer and more difficult to find. The scarcity of these special coins adds to their value and makes them highly sought after in the world of numismatics. You're probably wondering just how much a 1990 Washington quarter could actually be worth. While the average 1990 quarter that has seen regular circulation is only worth its face value, 25 cents, certain 1990 quarters have been known to sell for astonishing amounts. If you have a 1990 Washington quarter in uncirculated condition, or one that features a rare minting error like a double die or an off-center strike, it could be worth much more than you would expect. In fact, some of the rarest and most pristine 1990 Washington quarters have been known to fetch a staggering price of up to $60,000, that's right, $60,000 for a single 1990 Washington quarter. It's hard to believe that such a small and seemingly common coin could be worth so much, but this just goes to show how valuable coins can become when they are in perfect condition or feature a rare minting error. The world of coin collecting is full of hidden treasures, and this 1990 Washington quarter is a perfect example of how a seemingly ordinary coin can become a valuable collector's item. If you've got a 1990 Washington quarter in your collection, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. Check the condition, examine the mint mark, and look for any potential minting errors that could make it more valuable. You never know, you could be sitting on a rare coin worth thousands of dollars. Today, we're going to explore a coin that might just be hiding a small fortune. If you've ever found a Washington quarter in your spare change, you'll want to pay attention. Specifically, we'll be talking about the 1989 Washington quarter dollar and why it might be worth far more than you think. Whether you're an avid collector or just curious about the value of coins in your collection, this video is for you. We'll dive into the history, the unique features, and most importantly, how much a rare 1989 Washington quarter could fetch on the market. Stick with us until the end, because you're going to want to hear the incredible value of this coin. Let's start with a quick history lesson. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of President George Washington's birth. Since its debut, the coin has gone through multiple design changes, but the most well-known version features the profile of Washington on the obverse side and the American eagle on the reverse. This design was used for decades, but in 1999, the reverse was changed to celebrate the 50 states. However, the 1989 Washington quarter still features the classic eagle design, which makes it an important piece of American coinage history. Now, let's talk about why the 1989 Washington quarter is so intriguing to coin collectors. While this coin was produced in large numbers, not all 1989 quarters are created equal. Like most coins, the value of a 1989 Washington quarter is largely determined by its condition, rarity, and any potential errors or variations that it might have. And believe it or not, the 1989 quarter, when in the right condition or with the right features, can be worth quite a bit more than just 25 cents. One key factor that determines the value of the 1989 Washington quarter is the mint mark. You may have noticed that on the reverse side of the coin, near the bottom, there's a small letter. This mint mark indicates where the coin was minted. For the 1989 Washington quarter, there are three possible mint marks: D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and no mint mark, which would indicate that the coin was minted in Philadelphia. While the majority of these coins were struck in Denver, the San Francisco minted coins tend to be more sought after, especially if they're in excellent condition. But what truly elevates the value of a 1989 Washington quarter is its potential for minting errors. Minting errors are imperfections that occur during the production of the coin, and they can make a coin extremely rare and valuable. For instance, some 1989 Washington quarters were struck with double dies, which means that the design was stamped onto the coin more than once. This creates a visible doubling effect on the text or image of the coin, and it's one of the most highly sought-after errors among collectors. The double die error is particularly noticeable on the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." If you happen to have a 1989 Washington quarter with this error, it could be worth far more than a standard coin. Another error that collectors look for in the 1989 Washington quarter is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin isn't properly aligned during the minting process, causing the design to be stamped off-center. These types of errors are rare and highly collectible, so if you come across a 1989 Washington quarter with an off-center strike, you could have a valuable coin on your hands. Of course, condition is also key when determining a coin's worth. Most of the 1989 Washington quarters were used in everyday transactions, meaning they likely went through years of circulation, which can cause wear and tear. However, if you manage to find a 1989 quarter that's in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could be worth significantly more than a coin that's been well worn. The more well-preserved a coin is, the higher the likelihood that it will fetch a higher price from collectors who are looking for quality. Now, let's talk about what makes this coin even more valuable: the rarity. While millions of 1989 Washington quarters were minted, not all of them will make their way into the hands of collectors in excellent condition, which is why the rare, well-preserved coins are the ones that catch the eye of investors. With the right mint mark, condition, or a valuable minting error, a 1989 Washington quarter can stand out from the rest, which makes it a highly prized coin in the world of numismatics. So, how much is a 1989 Washington quarter worth? Well, the majority of these quarters are still only worth their face value of 25 cents if they've been heavily circulated and show signs of wear. But, when you add in the factors of minting errors, uncirculated condition, and rarity, the value can skyrocket. Some of the rarest 1989 Washington quarters, especially those with double die errors or off-center strikes, have been known to fetch mind-blowing prices at auctions or in private sales. And here's the exciting part: some of the most valuable 1989 Washington quarters have sold for an astounding price of up to $63,000. Yes, you heard that right, $63,000 for a single 1989 Washington quarter. It's amazing to think that such a small, common coin could hold that kind of value, but that's the power of the coin-collecting world. If you happen to have a 1989 Washington quarter that's in fantastic condition or features a minting error, you might be holding onto a rare treasure that could make you a small fortune. So, what should you do if you find a 1989 Washington quarter in your collection? Take a moment to inspect it carefully. Check the condition. If it's in mint or near mint condition, it could already be worth more than face value. Look for any potential minting errors like double dies or off-center strikes. And don't forget to check the mint mark, as certain variations are much rarer than others. Today's video, we're diving into one of the most interesting and valuable coins in American history, the 1965 Washington quarter dollar. It may look like just another quarter, but this particular coin could be worth far more than its face value. If you've ever wondered whether your spare change is hiding a treasure, then keep watching, because the 1965 Washington quarter might just be the gem you're looking for. The Washington quarter has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1932, originally introduced to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It features Washington's portrait on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse, making it one of the most recognizable coins in the country. But, if you think all quarters are created equal, think again. The 1965 Washington quarter is an excellent example of how small variations in minting, design, and condition can make a big difference in the coin's value. Now, let's talk about the significance of the 1965 Washington quarter and why it stands out among the many years of production. The year 1965 was a pivotal moment in U.S. coinage. It was during this year that the U.S. government made a major change to the composition of its coins. To address a nationwide shortage of silver, the United States stopped using silver in its quarters, dimes, and half dollars, and instead switched to a copper-nickel alloy. So, if you come across a 1965 Washington quarter, you might be surprised to learn that it was no longer made of the silver that most people associate with these coins. While the switch in metal composition is interesting, it's not the only thing that makes the 1965 Washington quarter special. The key to its value lies in the coin's rarity, condition, and potential minting errors. It's true that millions of 1965 Washington quarters were minted, but finding one in excellent, uncirculated condition is quite rare. Coins that have been kept in pristine condition without being heavily circulated are highly sought after by collectors. As with any coin, condition is everything when it comes to value. So, if you happen to find a 1965 Washington quarter that's been well preserved, it could be worth much more than a typical quarter, but the real magic happens when you start looking for minting errors. Minting errors are mistakes that happen during the production of a coin, and they can make certain coins extremely valuable. The 1965 Washington quarter is no exception. There are a few types of minting errors that can significantly increase the value of this coin, especially if they're in great condition. For instance, a common minting error found on the 1965 Washington quarter is the double die error. This occurs when the die that strikes the coin doesn't align correctly, resulting in the design being stamped onto the coin more than once. This causes a visible doubling of the coin's lettering or other design elements. On a 1965 Washington quarter, you might notice this effect on words like liberty or in God we trust. Double die errors are highly collectible and can make a coin worth significantly more than a standard one. Another error you might encounter is an off-center strike. This happens when the coin isn't aligned properly during the minting process, resulting in a design that appears off-center. These coins are rare and tend to be highly sought after by collectors due to their unique appearance. If you happen to have a 1965 Washington quarter with an off-center strike, you could be holding onto a coin that could fetch quite a sum. In addition to these minting errors, the rarity of the coin also plays a big role in its value. While many 1965 quarters were produced, the fact remains that a large percentage of them have been circulated heavily, leading to wear and tear over the years. Coins that have been kept in mint condition or have special errors are much rarer, which means they're much more valuable. If you're lucky enough to own a 1965 Washington quarter that has been well preserved, or even better, one with a minting error, it's certainly worth taking a closer look. So, how much could a 1965 Washington quarter be worth? Well, if your coin is in excellent condition or features one of those valuable minting errors like a double die or off-center strike, the value could be far higher than you might expect. In fact, certain 1965 Washington quarters have been known to sell for some astonishing prices. The combination of rarity, condition, and minting errors makes this coin a standout in the world of numismatics. And now, for the big reveal. If you've got a 1965 Washington quarter in top condition or one that features a minting error, it could be worth as much as $71,000, yes, you read that correctly, $71,000 for a single 1965 Washington quarter. It's hard to believe that such a small and seemingly simple coin could hold that kind of value, but that's the power of the coin collecting world. When you consider the rarity, the potential for minting errors, and the demand among collectors, it's clear that this particular coin can fetch a remarkable price. So, what should you do if you come across a 1965 Washington quarter? First, take a close look at the condition of the coin. If it's in great shape, it might already be worth more than face value. Second, look for any minting errors like double dies or off-center strikes. If you spot one of these, you may have a coin that could be worth thousands. And finally, always remember that rare, well-preserved coins with unique features tend to have the most value in the world of coin collecting. Today's video is going to excite you. We'll be exploring a coin that might be sitting in your collection or even your pocket right now, an unassuming yet highly valuable 1971 Washington quarter dollar. This coin, which might seem like just another piece of US currency, holds a fascinating story and a potential worth that will absolutely surprise you. So, grab your magnifying glass and get ready to dive deep into the details of this extraordinary coin. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why the 1971 Washington quarter is worth far more than its face value and why it's one that every serious coin collector should keep an eye on. First, let's talk a little about the 1971 Washington quarter itself. The Washington quarter has been a staple in American coinage since its introduction in 1932. It was first minted to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday, and it's been in circulation ever since. The 1971 Washington quarter features a classic design. On the obverse, we see a profile of George Washington, while the reverse side displays a majestic eagle. While this design has remained largely unchanged for many decades, each year's quarter has its own set of characteristics, which makes them unique. Now, you might be asking, what makes the 1971 Washington quarter stand out? The answer is simple: rarity, minting errors, and specific variations in its production. While millions of these quarters were minted, very few were kept in pristine condition. Coins that were heavily circulated often show signs of wear and tear, making them less desirable for collectors. However, if you happen to have a 1971 Washington quarter in mint or near mint condition, or better yet, one with a rare minting error, you could have a coin worth much more than the 25-cent face value. That's the magic of coin collecting. Small details and rarity can make a huge difference in the price of a coin. One of the first things to consider when determining the value of a 1971 Washington quarter is the coin's mint mark. The mint mark is a small letter that identifies where the coin was produced. For the 1971 Washington quarter, you'll find one of three possible mint marks: D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or no mint mark at all, which indicates it was produced in Philadelphia. While all of these mint marks are part of the normal production process, certain mint marks are rarer and more sought after by collectors, which can drive up the value of the coin. But what really sets the 1971 Washington quarter apart from the others is the possibility of minting errors. Minting errors are mistakes that happen during the production of the coin, and they can dramatically increase the value of the coin. There are several types of errors to look for on the 1971 Washington quarter. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die error, where the design is struck multiple times, causing a noticeable doubling effect on the letters or numbers on the coin. This can often be seen on words like liberty or in God we trust. The doubling effect is a clear indicator of the double die error, and collectors are always on the lookout for these kinds of coins. A 1971 Washington quarter with this error could potentially be worth thousands of dollars. Another error that can significantly increase the value of a 1971 Washington quarter is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin isn't aligned properly during the minting process, causing the design to be struck off-center. Off-center strikes are rare and highly desirable among collectors, especially if the error is more extreme. The more off-center the design is, the more valuable the coin becomes. So, if you happen to find a 1971 Washington quarter with an off-center strike, you could be sitting on a small fortune. In addition to these errors, the general condition of the coin is extremely important when it comes to its value. Coins that have been kept in mint or near mint condition are the most valuable. If a 1971 Washington quarter is free of scratches, discoloration, or wear from circulation, it's considered uncirculated, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for such coins. This is why it's essential to handle your coins with care and store them properly to preserve their condition. Now, let's talk about the most exciting part: just how much can a 1971 Washington quarter be worth? Well, if you have a 1971 quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition, it's already worth more than face value. But if it's a coin with a rare minting error, such as a double die or off-center strike, the value could be significantly higher. Coins with these types of errors are highly sought after, and collectors will pay top dollar to add them to their collections. To give you an idea of just how valuable these coins can be, some 1971 Washington quarters have sold for as much as $66,000. Yes, you heard that right, $66,000 for a single 1971 Washington quarter. It's absolutely mind-blowing how a coin that was once worth just 25 cents can become worth tens of thousands of dollars. This shows just how important it is for collectors to pay attention to the small details. The rarity of the coin, its condition, and any potential minting errors can make all the difference when it comes to determining its worth. So, what should you do if you come across a 1971 Washington quarter? First, carefully inspect the coin to check for any signs of wear. If it's in mint condition, you may already have a valuable coin on your hands. Second, look for any minting errors, especially double die errors or off-center strikes. These types of coins are far rarer and much more valuable. And third, always make sure to handle your coins with care to avoid damaging them. Today's video is going to be an exciting one. We're diving into the world of the 1992 Washington quarter dollar, one of the more interesting and sought-after coins in U.S. history. You may be thinking, a 1992 quarter? How valuable can it be? Well, you might be surprised. This seemingly common coin has a story that could lead to some serious money. So stick with us as we explore why this particular Washington quarter from 1992 could be worth much more than you ever imagined. First, let's give you a quick refresher on the Washington quarter itself. This iconic coin has been part of U.S. currency since 1932, originally designed to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. It's easily recognizable, with Washington's portrait on the obverse, the front, and an eagle on the reverse, the back. The design has remained largely unchanged throughout the years, which makes it one of the most enduring symbols of American currency. Now, let's zoom in on the 1992 Washington quarter. This coin might seem like just another typical quarter to the casual observer, but there's more to it than meets the eye. The 1992 quarter was minted in massive quantities, so you might think that it wouldn't have any special value. However, as with many coins, small variations in the minting process or condition can lead to a significant increase in value. So, if you have a 1992 Washington quarter in your collection, it's worth paying close attention to the details. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on discovering what makes this coin special. Let's start with the basics, the mint mark. The mint mark on a coin tells you where it was produced. For the 1992 Washington quarter, you'll find a few possible mint marks: D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and no mint mark, which means it was struck in Philadelphia. Most of the quarters from 1992 came from the Denver Mint, but some came from San Francisco, which makes them a bit more rare. While the mint mark is important, it's the condition of the coin and potential errors that can really set a 1992 Washington quarter apart from the rest. Now, let's talk about something that every serious collector loves: minting errors. Minting errors are rare occurrences during the coin production process where something goes wrong, creating a coin that is different from the standard issue. These errors can drastically increase the value of a coin. And the 1992 Washington quarter is no exception. There are a few different types of minting errors that could turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a highly valuable piece of numismatic history. One of the most exciting errors to look for is the double die error. This occurs when the die used to stamp the coin doesn't align properly, causing the design to be struck multiple times. This results in a visible doubling effect, especially on the lettering or other design elements. If you spot a 1992 Washington quarter with a double die error, you could be looking at a much higher value than the face value of the coin. Collectors love these kinds of errors because they make the coin unique, and that uniqueness can drive up the price. Another minting error to look for on the 1992 Washington quarter is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing the design to be struck off-center. These off-center strikes can be quite striking and are considered valuable by collectors because they are rare and visually appealing. The more extreme the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin can be. In addition to minting errors, the condition of the coin is a key factor in determining its value. As with any coin, a 1992 Washington quarter in excellent, uncirculated condition is going to be worth more than one that has been heavily circulated. A coin that has been well preserved, free from scratches, dents, and discoloration, can fetch a higher price on the market. If you have a 1992 quarter that looks as if it just came off the minting press, it's definitely worth checking to see if it has any rare errors or features that could boost its value. So, what exactly can a 1992 Washington quarter be worth? Here's the exciting part. If you happen to have one of these quarters in near-perfect condition, or even better, one that features a rare minting error like a double die or off-center strike, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Some of the rare 1992 Washington quarters with minting errors have been sold for impressive prices at auctions and from private collectors. The unique combination of rarity, condition, and any minting mistakes can result in a substantial increase in value. And now, for the big reveal. A 1992 Washington quarter, in perfect condition, with a significant minting error, can be worth as much as $58,000, yes, you heard that right, $58,000 for a single 1992 Washington quarter. It's amazing how a coin that was originally worth just 25 cents can end up being worth tens of thousands of dollars. It all comes down to the rarity, the condition of the coin, and whether or not it has any minting errors. This is why it's so important to pay close attention to every coin in your collection, even the ones that seem like they're just ordinary pieces of currency. So, what should you do if you come across a 1992 Washington quarter? Start by carefully inspecting the coin. Check for any unusual features or signs of minting errors. Look for a double die or an off-center strike, as these are the kinds of mistakes that collectors highly value. And remember, the better the condition of the coin, the more valuable it will be. If you think your 1992 quarter might be a rare one, it's worth having it appraised by a professional or reaching out to a coin dealer. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future discoveries. Who knows? The next treasure might be hiding in your pocket. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.